What's up, fellow gamers? It's Nightwing here, the Wii Live Game Reviewer, bringing you the 50th review special of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, today on February 18th, 2008. Today also marks my 25th birthday, so I'm a quarter century old. Pretty cool. Alright, let's go into the story of this game, shall we? Our tale begins with the three golden goddesses, who were responsible for the creation of the world of Hyrule. After leaving this world, in their wake the golden goddesses created the Triforce. The Triforce is a symbol of ultimate power and is sought after by many greedy people. In a result, this is Hyrule's past is plagued with countless wars and much bloodshed. Which brings us to an orphan child from the most recent war. As this child slumbers, he tosses and turns as a horrific nightmare unfolds in his mind. What does this all mean? A place he's never been to? A white horse? A princess fleeing from her own castle? What's going on? She looks so frightened. A great evil is coming. Who is that man? What is he doing? Am I going to die? The nightmare continues and the child dreams. The Deco Tree has summoned a fairy named Navi, who will be the child's companion. As the fairy goes to the sleeping child, our real story is about to begin. Concept for this game. Okay, now that you have your companion, it's time for your adventure to begin. So, first off, you have to go see the Great Tree. You have to perform a series of tasks like collecting the hidden Kokiri sword, getting a bunch of rupees in order to buy your shield, and of course, fighting a bunch of monsters in order to go see the tree itself anyway. Once you get to the tree tells you of a curse put on him, so you have to go inside the tree and basically act as the exterminator. You have to go in and you have to fight this giant spider creature that is living inside of the roots of the tree. Once you kill the giant spider, the Great Tree will tell you of a man who put the curse on him in the first place. The man's name is, of course, Ganondorf. As the tree dies, it gives you the Green Forest Emerald. It's time for you to leave the forest, say goodbye to your friends, and head on over to Hyrule Castle to meet the Princess of Destiny herself, Princess Zelda. Anyway, Princess Zelda tells you of an evil man named Ganondorf who she suspects is trying to take over the country. She asks you if you have the Green Forest Emerald and puts you on a quest to find the other jewels in order to stop Ganondorf. So learn the Ocarina of Song from the maid and head over to Death Mountain. Once you're over at Death Mountain, play an Ocarina song, then go fight another boss, exterminate that boss, and then the Gorons will be happy and they will give you the red emerald jewel thingy. Now it's time to head over to meet the Zoras. So play Zelda's Lullaby in order to get into the Zoros domain. Then of course you fight another monster, collect another jewel, and then it's back to Hyrule Castle, where this time you actually meet Ganondorf in person. Now it's time to collect the ocarina that Zelda threw, use it to open the Temple of Time, take the Master Sword, and this is where the journey becomes epic. Now that you're in the future 7 years, you meet Sheik. You have to get your horse, you have to collect all these different spirit emblems, you have to save Princess Zelda, and of course confront the evil king Ganondorf. Alrighty then, controls for this game. Just so everybody knows, this is the N64 controls. In order to move Link, all you do is tilt the control stick in the direction you want to go. To roll is to tilt the control stick forward and press the A button. Swinging your sword is to simply tap the B button. You can also highlight enemies by targeting them with the Z button, and blocking with their shield is simply done by holding in the R button. When the enemy is targeted, you can use the A button to either jump or to attack. If you jump back, you do a backflip side to side, you do evasive jumps. In order to do your spin attack, all you do is hold in the B button to charge it. Let go of the spin attack, just remember it will drain your magic meter. To swim, it's simply done by pressing the A button, and to dive is to hold the A button in. To move your horse, you move it with the control stick. B is, of course, your bow and arrows, and to make your horse go faster, simply press the A button. There's also a menu setup, but I won't really get into that. In fact, I'll get more into the secondary weapons, which use the C button, like the magic mirror, the ocarina, the hook shot, but I'll showcase the bow and arrow. When you use the hook shot or the bow and arrow, you get a first-person view. So simply just aim the bow using the control stick and line it up. Then whatever button you're using for the C buttons, just target and shoot your enemy. That's pretty much it. Alright, design for this game. From Hyrule Field to Zora's Domain, to the endless lakes and the beautifully designed castle town, to the Temple of Time, and of course the Sacred Realm. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is such a very well crafted video game. The worlds feel like nothing else in any other Zelda game. It really makes you feel like you are part of this amazingly beautiful world. The Shadow Temple, the Water Temple, all the different places that Link goes to are completely different than the last place he was, and it just really was ahead of its time. The desert, especially, with the sands blowing around and the wind, and just so many elements of this game is absolutely amazing. Another really well-designed stage has to be Ganon's Tower. The character models in this game are really great, from Link and Sheik to Zelda, to even the personality of the mini-bosses and the enemies in this game, like the Iron Knuckle, the Stalfos Knights, and of course the Moblins. The bosses themselves are intricately designed and completely different and amazing from the last. This game is just absolutely amazing. Alright, it's time for the history of this game. Zelda 64 was first announced for the disk drive in 1995. The game was presented by Nintendo as a really complex title, impossible to be put on the simple N64. Miyamoto and team would have liked Hyrule to be a persistent, changing world entirely adaptable to the player's will. Any changes that you would perform on it would be saved. Broken container, chopped down tree, dead enemy, or footprints in the sand would all be saved, thanks to the innovative features of the disk drive. However, the add-on wasn't received well by developers, and the disk drive was postponed way too many times. So Nintendo had to make a choice and announce that Zelda 64 would be revamped for the cartridge, hoping Zelda would renew the attention of the gamers. It did, and Ocarina of Time is one of the best video games ever made. Sadly, the removal of these interesting features of the 64 disk drive would have a huge impact on many parts and story of Ocarina of Time. Although Master's Quest does have some Zelda 64 elements, however, most of these elements were kept alive in many Zelda games like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. Ocarina of Time is available on the Virtual Console for 1,000 Wii points and well worth the download. Time for the bad aspect about this game. You cannot use or get the Triforce. It's in your hand. Also, no Zelda theme. That's a first. Story's unfinished. Where's the Light Temple? And what's the point of the Ice Temple other than to get the boots? Collecting the medallions gives you no power-ups at all, like in the Zelda 64 blueprint. The owl is just plain annoying, but served a huge purpose in Zelda 64. You also cannot use your sword on horseback. Now that's just common sense. Of course, you were finally able to use swordplay mechanics on your horse in Twilight Princess. Another thing is you have no really cool swordplay mechanics in Ocarina of Time. Again, you have to wait until Wind Waker and Twilight Princess for really cool finishing blows and awesome swordplay mechanics. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, I'm bad! Another thing that I didn't like about this game is the Mirror Shield only deflects things in the Spirit Temple. You can use it as a weapon, but when fighting Ganondorf, you'd think you could deflect his weapon right back at him with the Mirror Shield, but no. Another thing that I didn't like about this game is, of course, Navi's annoyingness. Alright, time for the good aspect about this game. All ranting aside, this is an awesome release 3D Zelda game that changed the world of gaming as we know it, again. Tons of side quests, lots of fun mini-games, awesome boss battles, and just, it's an amazingly epic video game. The boss battle with Shadow Link is absolutely amazing. This game has drama, action, comedy, adventure, you name it, this game has it. It even has an insane boss battle at the end of the game with Ganon. That's one of the best boss battles in any video game to date, only to be topped by the Wind Waker and of course the Twilight Princess one. But still, this game has high replay value, it's an awesome game, gets a 10 out of 10. Download it, it's 1,000 Wii points. God bless and happy gaming.